good afternoon, good evening. Today is Tuesday. It's the second day of a 5-day week, with it being August 13th, 2024. Our goal is to review today's market generated information in a consistent and consolidated fashion. We're following the narrative of the auction for both ES and NQ, and we'll continue to compress, track, and review all gleaned information. If we have time, we'll theorize and add additional commentary at the end. Please jump on our account and you can see our prep and live speculation video that we uploaded today. That analysis will be coupled with our objective hindsight review that will commence now. So let's get started. You look ahead of us, we clearly have a huge upside day on the daily, but we won't get ahead of ourselves here. Let's take a look and see exactly what transpired across the sectors to start it off. Looking at the S&P 500, we're up 1.7%. The only red sector is energy, who I've been laughing at recently. I don't know why. It's just kind of funny to laugh at them. Trying to learn more about the individual sectors. Of course, we go as technology goes, as we're up 3%. Utilities is kind of taking a break. I think we're seeing a little less defensive behavior. Again, low, low, low. Even with the real estate, and kind of putting more in some of these other areas. So very nice across the board. Very nice to see. Appears to be very healthy. Our economic calendar, we only had our 5:30 data today. This was our main focus, with tomorrow being CPI, which would be the same case. And we have a slew of 5:30, 6:15, and 7 o'clock for Thursday, and then 7 o'clock and 5:30 on Friday. But again, tomorrow is CPI, so this will be something that we'll be looking forward to when it comes to our earnings. We can see we do have Cisco at the close. Some of these other ones here I'm not too familiar with, but definitely we'll have some eyes on JD.com and Walmart for Thursday. All right. So let's start off with our questions. Where is the market coming from? Again, this was just more of a consolidated bull flag consolidation from yesterday, Monday, and Friday. Looking at the NQ here in the middle of our screen. See, we were just basing over this VPOC zone from August 8th and really just held over here for 2 days. If we look at it in this way, this will be a little better. Just bear with me. Let's remove the right, and then remove the right again. All right, so we have our Tuesday, which is today. Yesterday was a consolidator. You can see the normal shape drive here, and then another normal shape. For the most part, this is just pure consolidation, all after this massive, the Great Wall of Balances, which is what we've been calling it. And this is above the VPOC for Friday, which was a very weak point and a pivot that we wanted to get over. So very nice from the buyers. We completely blew through this thin air spot on both indices and through the LIS on closed above with the VPOC being at the high from what I can tell. Yes. So this was a ass kicking day for sure for the buyers on low volume. So this is nice. We'll get in a little deeper with the stats and why that's somewhat expected, as we mentioned, in this more balanced, bullish market overall from the macro perspective, that is. Looking at the ES, we had that same balanced day the prior day. We opened here at the 5370s, kind of traded around, went up about halfway into that zone, midway into the about 2 to 3 hours before the RTH open. We ended up falling a little bit below those 70s and basically just shot straight up completely through that zone that we were in, that thin air spot, that LIS zone. And now we're already working our way into another zone, which I need to have noted. That may or may not be the contract premium, but I'll do a little research there. So very nice showing again from the buyers with the VPOC being towards the highs. Very nice. Really not too much to say. This was a typical trend day. We'll look at the specifics shortly. So where we were coming from, bear flag, 2 consolidation days ending on Friday, and then the second being on the Monday. And we continued with some balance in two-way trading overnight, testing the lower balance area and having a trend up day. So this was a nice performance overall. Really, our goal was just to build volume higher, which is exactly what we're doing. And this was this the perfect example of today. Not only did we build volume throughout the session, we also closed it at the highs. Just one moment. Just closing this door here. But we actually closed near the highs. So to ask the question, what did we try to accomplish? Build volume higher. Was there any surprises? I believe just the effort and the results that we received from the bulls and the price action. How do we finish? Very nice day overall, though the volume is still a bit low. If we look at the specific footprint, we can see that we had some very nice range, with this being 94 and it's about 500 on the NASDAQ. Not much traded at the lower levels. Pretty much fought through this little area here at the 5410s and didn't really find any kind of significant resistance until we started eating up into the previous session. So again, this was thin air down, this is thin air on our way up. So we're not too surprised to see this behavior, but I will say on our way back, it's a possibility that we fill in some of this gap here moving forward. And this gap is between let's just call it the 5390s to the 5430s. I'm curious, what do I have marked? 53, 5430s. Yeah, that's basically what I have already marked. I just need to just bring it up a little bit. So I'll rework the charts a little later, the drawings a little later on, rather. So we understand where we came from. We understand our goal. We understood how we performed overall. Were there any surprises? And how did we finish? It's very nice overall for the ES. And then we'll just finish it up with the NASDAQ here. Same situation. No real resistance at all here until the middle point. Same situation. And then a lot of effort here towards the top with the passive sellers. But awesome finish for the buyers that met them halfway. So we're well within this range. And this is the VWAP from, actually, I won't get into that. It's like the middle of July. Yeah, we'll skip that. So we understand where we're coming from that factor. We understand what our narrative was overall. As of right now, we're just eating through this data just to see how we're responding. To be interesting to see with these 530 days, these 530 data releases. I'll actually leave more of that speculative part towards the end, so my apologies there. So we know where we are on the dailies. I just want to take a quick peek at the monthly. So you can see we're zipping all the way back up. Now we're in the prior month's range. This is awesome. This is awesome to see. If we look at the weekly candle, it's just very aggressive on the bull side. Very nice to see. But given the overall macro trend that we're in, it's not surprising. I think it's safe to say that we are closing above this 5 SMA. So and looking at the same situation for the NASDAQ, we are back into the previous month's range, looking nice. Same situation over here. We're almost at the close, almost at the open and the close of the last 2 weeks of July. So just seeing where we're at, and that's the 5500s for ES. So we're about 50 points away, about 45. Okay. So this is awesome territory. Um, awesome response from the PPI. Ooh, that dub was bad. But yeah, from the PPI, I'm gonna go ahead and make these drawings quickly here, just for our reference, because these were pivotal in our session earlier today. Just bear with me, I'm fixing this on the NQ. All right, cool, bam. Got it. So we understand this here. We have our footprint. We do have some excess buyers here. Buyers are definitely putting in some effort there, so we can see them kind of sticking out. Same situation here, 3,800 on the NASDAQ, 28,000 on the ES. Given the lower volume, you can kind of take that with a grain of salt, but there was effort for sure for the buyers, and they had the pressure the whole time. I added another stat down here for like the finish. I'm sorry, for the min max and the low max and the high max for the negative delta and the positive delta. I forgot the exact term, but just curious to see how. Yeah, just it's a conversation for another day. But okay, so we understand where we are from a price standpoint. Quick time check, we're at under 12 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at the how we just some my chart annotations for the RTH session, or for the whole day rather. My apologies. So again, yesterday was a balanced day. We ended up finishing directly in the middle. We two-way traded, couldn't go below the midpoint, which is the 5360s. I'm working on saying my prices a lot more so I can become familiar with these prices. So I don't have to use the my drawings as much. I want to become familiar with where I want to do business. But I digress. We're trading above the IB mid, the prior IB mid, which is the 60s, the 360s. We drift upwards, break above the IB high with a nice little trend, possibly people getting stopped out. We actually broke the prior day's high, couldn't sustain above, sold off below, but we did not break the low of the day. A nice little leg up again, lower high into the PPI reaction. I'm not exactly sure what this one is called, this shape, but we really couldn't get below this one leg, this one breakout period here. But we did make a new high, very close to closing above the overnight high in general with this one specific reaction. We ended up building volume near the top half, couldn't trade below the midpoint. Possible open draw for the morning. My apologies here. This is something that I still need to have fixed. This is actually on another screen. Stop that from flickering. So we open up here at the 5403. A nice little quick test down. I'm curious to see what that first candle looked like. Okay, so just a quick little spurt. We can actually look at that on our video replay if we like. That's what our account is for. A quick pop down and we shoot back up. One candle up, one down, but there's no trading under into the SOC zone, the high. We shoot up, still trading higher. My apologies, still trading higher. And we close above the IB mid. Very strong start. Every time we get below this IB mid, we have some kind of reaction. We finally get under. Can't touch open. and close at the mid, still making lower highs, lower lows. Again, we are in a very much of a high resistance area at this point. If we look at our thin air zone, we popped above there and got close to getting into this prior month's former support zone, and it looked like a potential fail without testing. Ended up, as soon as we got above it, couldn't sustain, poked above, lower highs, lower lows. So this looks somewhat bearish to me and a few others. We closed at that IB mid, so at this point, this is a just an open auction for the most part, so just a nice coiling range. But with the context that we have, this is a nice coiling range over the SOC zone. We drop below one more time to get into this balance area here. Post SOC, test through the open, test the low. We never broke this low, I believe. Seems like that was a equal low. Nice defended down spike, and just really higher highs and higher lows the entire time. So it's fairly simple. Once we got above, typical trend day behavior, can't close below the 5S. We caught this out in real time. Like, we're not getting in front of this because every time we do have a red candle, we're just tightening up this rope. Once we get above here, it just stays. This is just a 5 smoothing average on the 3-minute candle. I would imagine this would be about the same behavior here on the NQ. They were a little stronger overall, given the one push above the prior day and then another push with the SOC. Notice that we opened right here at the top, couldn't trade at it, put our foot down right at the very top, pushed back up, and that was all she wrote, really. This one was just more, this was much simpler in real time, though you couldn't find a way to get in here. You had your opportunity here, and you can look at this on the DOM if you like to. This is the end of the B bracket, start of the C bracket. I had like a technical issue here, but this is still valid nonetheless. You just had to pick your spots and get in. This was your opportunity here. Where your stop would be, honestly, this would have to be on our way down once we push down. And as we kind of push up to fill out this candle and then we come back down, you would have to really enter this midway and then just believe in the strength that you're seeing and what the MGI is telling you. Because do remember, if you enter on that mini pullback for that 3-minute candle, I mean, you're pretty much in blue skies territory at this point. So again, this was very textbook. We do have a play for this. I'm going to be sure to take a screenshot of this. And that's pretty much it. I won't look forward to anything too much, but I would like to just take a quick moment, let all this process, and kind of get some thoughts out. So just bear with me. I'm just going to mute my mic as I think. Sorry, I don't know why I said mute my mic. I can just pause the recording. I'm not live. But okay, I just had a time to just kind of take a break, close my eyes. So just to, and again, I'm finished at this point. You can feel free to jump off if you like. I'm just gonna add a little more color to this. This is all expected behavior that we are seeing from the indices, given the information that we've seen, that we're gleaning from NQ leading, which again, we go where technology goes. All this is pretty much expected. This low vol, the continued days of balance on top of a high balance zone weekly candle, if you will. It was our goal is just to build volume higher, and the more we do this, this can continue for sure. These sellers are still in control on the intermediate time frame, but at this point, again, as we said, I have more respect for the buyers. This does not mean that you cannot trade short. It is important that you are very aware of what's going on around you, and yeah, you it's really important to stay oriented in this type of environment. This can definitely catch some people slipping here, but this is a high balance zone that we're going into. I'm not saying that we need to get short here, but I don't know. I really don't want to be in the business of projecting right now, but I will say the sellers have a hell of a job to get back below these zones, these high volume areas. So I mean, my hat's off to them if they can do it. But at this point now, we're now at the low volume, the low value area for the composite zones on both sides. So I mean, we're really getting back into this other balance, and it's a very good opportunity that we can zip through here with these singles that we have, given the data events that we have. So as I've been speaking about in my prep and my reviews, we really do need to lean on these data events and continuations or reversals as long as they have a specific spot. I think it's important for us to do a little less scalping as we are gone from that volatile period as far as that we can see. And we should have a little more structure with our trades, even if it's just a take profit 2 to 1 versus a trailing in this kind of environment, because we have people that can get squeezed. Volatility is still kind of there a little bit. So just be mindful. I think we need to go back to our area where we can focus more on the long side, but don't be hard headed. If we're getting in a situation where everybody is freaking green to start the day, we just need to be looking for places to buy and hold. Let's not overcomplicate this. Let's not try to be cute and make money. We need to follow our process, and the rest is going to take care of itself. If something shows up that's quite intuitive and it just makes sense, that's fine. Just say it out loud and we can make a note of it later on. It doesn't mean that we have to take a trade. It's very important for us to stay aligned with the most dominant side, as we'll have the less pressure and less friction in front of us. Everything will be a little easier when we're on the right side and we're in flow with the market. Yes, you can catch these discrepancies, but this is picking up pennies in front of a runaway train. So we'll leave it at that for now. I'm definitely looking forward to tomorrow with the CPI. Regardless of whatever reaction we have, we're going to follow our same process and look at it in the same way. We will be prepared. If we don't see anything, that's completely fine. We just need to just limit our trades for the opportunities that we do see, and for something that doesn't show up, we just need to just kind of just walk away and find something to do. So I look forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna go ahead and stop it here.